He's good.
Real friendly.
Okay, so let's.
I just want to see if it's a runner. Right?
Okay.
We want to do that, don't we?
Yeah, check that first. So you didn't know that.
Well, they all are.
You get
It's just I haven't run it for a while, so I'm just going to give it a quick.
the break of day, he jumps into his pickup, he heads out on his way.
You got all that?
Well, he's got one
Because I got my kid over there too. How you doing, everybody? How's everybody going tonight? Don Walker, how are you?
Very good, thank you, Buck.
How was your week?
Ah, busy, man.
Was it?
Oh, it's crazy.
What?
Man.
Porting lawnmowers or power saws, Donnie? Come on.
Power saws.
Oh, good, good.
Jeez, I ported. Hey, what is it? Thursday today?
Yeah.
Oh, I've probably done. Oh, about 10 this week.
You did, didn't you?
Yeah. I just did my magic, and everyone's happy.
I love it. I love it. Well, we're talking reliability, longevity here.
That's right. We're talking work saws.
Yep. Right.
Work saws is the way to go. They painted a living.
Oh, just make sure we got a runner here. I heard fire.
Oh, look at that.
It runs.
Okay, it runs. It's got spark.
So that's
It'll
all we
run.
need to know.
Well,
Yeah.
the only thing it might need is maybe some carburation.
Carburation.
So, yeah, not a bad unit. So, about what we can do is we're going to either do our stripping down of our 850.
Let's do that, John, because if we jump into this, we're gonna be on another course.
And I kind of want to, like, yeah.
So friends, we decided we're gonna get Donnie's. I've always been asking Donnie these questions through the years, like how do I do this, Don? How do I do that? This man has. I would phone him, and I'd be on that bench, and I'd be in a pinch. I'd either phone him, Fairclaw. No joke, friends. I'm not kidding you, because you know what I'm like. Backyard go, right? And this man would take the time always. Okay, Buckin, what is it? You got to get that flywheel out there and get in there. He's helped me out my whole life doing this stuff, and now he's here. So I'm always tickled when he comes. So Don, we love you and we appreciate you.
Right on, Bucky. So yeah, man. So we're gonna strip down the 850 tonight. We've already pork timed it.
We did,
And I
didn't we?
talked to my 84-year-old dad.
84
And we're gonna get it all set up, man.
We're gonna get ready for Portland, aren't we?
Yep. This has got electronic ignition. It's a piston port motor. It's in pretty damn good shape from what it looks like. So
I
now we're
thought
gonna
so.
strip the crankcase to the cylinder.
Okay.
And I brought some special tools to do that.
Yeah, because we got some longer, yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna strip this apart, and then we're gonna try to keep it nice and neat. So we're gonna need maybe a piece of cardboard or something.
I got
here,
cardboard.
Or something we can put here.
I got it.
And I'll break up the tools and get the right figures to do that. So yeah, we're working on these older motors. They're pretty old, but nothing wrong with old stuff. I'm old. I still work, and we got some seals. Buckin, I believe, got some seals for these things.
Now, how do you feel about something like this, Don? Like, is that okay
Oh yeah, man.
or not?
Yeah, just buck her in half there.
Just buck this in half?
Or fold it in half.
Okay,
Yeah. We got something to, so we're not working on metal and metal, right?
gotcha. Yeah, makes sense.
We're working on something soft there, and we
Yeah,
can like take
you want like this right here.
Perfect.
Is that okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Okay. So first thing we need to do, we need a little 8 mil. Take these.
Okay, now you've got, that's,
Do you have a flat blade screwdriver?
oh, indeed I do.
You do. Get that. And I'll get the 1/4 inch socket set up for that. We do have to take the oiler off first. That's right.
Oh yeah, the oiler comes out of there. doesn't
Now
it?
it's coming to me.
Okay, I'll pop this off.
What happened years ago, I believe. Turn it.
So Don, is that the adjustment right there? Someone told me that is.
Yeah, so
it
this
is.
is
Isn't it?
adjuster for your automatic oiler.
Yeah.
You can
Up is more.
turn that not loose, then turn that up more so it'll pump more, right?
So you back it up for more and
Yeah.
tighten it down for less.
That's right. So
Okay.
so how it works is down in here,
Yep.
it runs off the crankcase pressure,
Yep.
and that pumps this little piston here
That's incredible.
to move the oiler up and down. And the more you increase that screw, obviously it's going to move more, so
Bigger
it's going to
pump.
pump more.
Yeah.
And I believe there was something to do with these years ago. That, like, you see this little metal plate here?
Yes, I do.
Years ago, there was some other plate that me and my dad used to. That's weird, those are right. Used to put in there and we'd push back because there was. I believe there was some sort of problem that these things sometimes would suck the chain oil into the motor.
I heard
and they
about
would
that.
smoke and stuff.
Yes.
But I believe this one's an upgraded one that has that already. That's why that little plate's there.
Would the 1970 710s do that? Because my 710's sucking on it. Look like it's smoking like crazy.
I would say probably.
It could be doing that?
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting, friends.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll deal with that later.
Okay, let's deal with that later. So friends, we're just cracking it down because we are porting this saw, and then Donnie's got a nice 850. And we're gonna, the plan is with this series, friends, I hope you stick along with us. And Don's a busy man, and so is Buckin, of course. But what we're trying to do is port two 850s, pretty close to the same, and have a little dig in the wood later. Hey, Don, when we're done.
You betcha, we're gonna have a little saw.
That's our plan. So I hope you stick with us on this one because it is gonna be fun.
Okay, where's our spot for these parts for this one?
Well, this is the 850 box.
Still here?
It is.
Okay.
Everything's right there.
That's from this one?
Yep.
Okay, let's put that in there.
Okay.
This over. Idiot!
It's a
Okay,
back.
so now what we're gonna do here is let's take this wait a sec. Hey, I brought Buck in this beautiful piston stop tonight.
Did you bring it?
So we can get this flywheel off
I
tonight.
can't
easy.
believe you impressed me.
Let's do that. We'll get this flywheel off, then we're gonna be able to split this case.
You see what he's got, friends? Don Walker, talk to us about this.
Well, Buckin, we got this piston stop here. It's
Buckin?
gonna
What?
it's it's gonna stop the piston from moving up and down.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be able to take clutches off and flywheels off with no problem.
With no rope trick
That's right. You don't
backyard.
have to do the old.
Well, what we have here today, Buckin?
Can I get you to slide your workbench back like a couple feet just for a sec so I can pull out there?
Sure, bud. I'll turn this off. This 850 is in good shape. It's the one I had hanging in the wall. Now, when we do this, you see, I got seals too. Don, there's two different kinds of seals, right?
That's right.
One smaller one and one bigger
each
one.
Each side's different, yeah.
Yeah.
Crank side and ignition side's different.
I've got them. Hey, from the Little Red Barn. I don't know if you watch my channel, but the Little Red Barn, I didn't realize that's where I got the parts from, but that's where I got the parts from. I got your seals. I bought 6 of them off you. Took a little bit of time to get here, but they're here, and I thank you for it. So that's great. We're looking forward to it. So look what Don's doing here.
Okay, I need a little bit of help there, bud.
You want Buckin to get on there, don't you?
Bucking power.
Little Buckin power? I'll get that
Bucking
sucker
power.
right
You
off like
fucking
right
torque
now.
that sucker off there, buddy.
Okay, and you hang. We're going the right way, are we?
Yep.
Let's go up a little. Right there.
Yep.
Ready?
Yep.
Oh dear God! Are you sure we're going the right way? Could be reverse.
No, that's right.
Donnie Walker.
You can do it, man. You can do it, Buckin. Come on, Buckin.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Wow, it's tight.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah, man. Okay, you need an impact. We can do it without.
We need
We can leave the flywheel
sockets.
on. No, we can leave the flywheel on.
Okay, let's get a socket here. Okay, friends, I had to turn the camera off because I didn't want Mac lovers to see what we had to do to the saw to get this thing off.
You had to use some good old muscle.
Yeah, you did. Now, Don, you said something important to me for a guy like me, a backyard saw guy, to know. You said flywheels are always normal thread, clutches are reverse sometimes.
Left-hand thread, yeah.
Always?
Well, it depends if it's a inboard or outboard clutch.
Right.
So normally, it's always left-hand thread because you got to think of the rotation of the chain.
Yes.
So the rotation of the chain would loosen the clutch if it wasn't left-hand.
Now, what's your trick for this now?
So the trick for this is I brought you that fancy puller that actually fits this. Now, another way I got a little bit of a backyard thing we can do too, but
Nut
normally,
on, pop?
that's correct.
Okay.
I've
done that.
Little side hit, but I did get you that nice puller, and you would take these Paul screws out,
Yes.
and the puller would screw down to the threads of this, okay?
Did you leave that here? No.
I did. Yeah, I did. I'm sure I did. Yeah. But anyways, we'll just give it a little pop tonight. Look at that! Wow.
Did you see what he just did? He just.
It's amazing!
I'm like, you just cracked the flywheel.
Yeah, just give it a little smack there, man.
Anywhere there.
Sometimes if you just lift the weight of the saw up and hold a flywheel and just give it a smack on the side, it'll break off the keyway. But sometimes, like I found, like different Huskies and Stills, when you have a keyed crankshaft flywheel,
Yes.
they're very hard to get off, so you got to use the puller. And there's our old notch. Remember we talked about this a
Yes,
while ago?
I
where
do.
You'd put a screw
Underneath.
through the thing.
Yeah.
There's that notch that you would put through there, and you'd be able to hold it like a piston stop, and be able to undo your nuts. Okay.
I just learned something by you cracking that. Now you said to me you left a puller here,
Yep, I did.
but that would only go right here, and it's not here. Is this it, Don?
It definitely is. It says MC on it, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
There you go. It's McBuckin's puller.
I love it. So, friends, listen. These are tricks that are backyard. Like Don's not. You know, it's redneck. It's tailgate business here. He's not at the shop.
Yeah, we're the tailgate repairing tonight. But you know what? We're not just backyarders. We're professionals.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna do it right.
No, and I'm
we're
just
happen
saying
to be
that.
working on the back of this old Mercury, which I love. I'd love to have it, but yeah, we're just gonna get her happening here. Tearing down this old 850.
I love it. Hey, friends, it's good, eh? So I didn't want.
Oh, I forgot. There's a nut underneath this. That's right. That's why it's spinning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now you know what? I remember there's a certain wrench that fits McCULLOCH's.
Yeah.
It's called 11/32, and I brought it.
You
It's
dirty.
weird, man. You buy a wrench set these days, there's no 11/32 wrench set in it.
See, I got all these because I've been playing with these Macs forever.
Look at that.
Look at you.
It fits.
See, this is because of the memories coming back to Don Walker, you see, friends.
Not bad after a couple head injuries.
Yeah, I'll spin that if you want, Don. You got it?
Okay, go ahead.
That'll, you can just hold that and I'll spin that.
Yeah, right on it.
I'll save us a couple.
It's quite a lock nut, actually. I don't know why
Oh,
they did
yeah.
it like
So,
that.
so is it a Nylox or something?
Yeah, it's a metal lock, actually.
There you go.
But it's funny that they made it like
Hang on.
that because it's kind of awkward, but once you remember it, you're okay. Okay, it's good, bud. Okay, so now we get that off. So that's our this is our manual oiler. And what we just took off here is the manual
Is there
oiler.
a spring in your hand?
Nope, but
No.
I'm going to show you something here. We should thread that nut back onto that one bolt.
Okay, I'll thread that back together.
So what you have in here, this is your manual oiler where your rod comes from your gas tank,
Yep.
which is right here.
Yep. Or that one.
Sorry, right here.
Yeah.
And you can override the oiler to give it more oil if you're in a big cut.
Yes.
With a long bar.
Yep.
Okay. So the way it works is it's got a little check valve here
Yep.
and this little line. And this line is the pickup for the oiler,
Yep.
for the automatic and the manual.
So it's for the one. Yeah.
So it kind of overrides it and it makes it pump to its fullest.
I love it.
And just give it extra, right?
Yeah. And that's just a breather little thing there?
Yeah, that's a tank vent.
Tank vent. Yeah.
Yeah. So this little check valve, we should put in our little package of stuff
Okay.
because you'll never find a new one.
No.
It's sort of like a Welsh plug in a carburetor.
Good.
So it sits on top of the oil hose. Let's remember that.
Okay. So what does that look like? It's just like a Welsh
Just a
plug.
little, yeah, exactly.
Okay. So
Little
remember
aluminum
that.
disc.
That can just go in there. It's not going to hurt nothing, is it?
That's what it is.
No.
Okay. And obviously we don't have gaskets. We'll just keep that in good shape.
Okay.
Put that-
No holes in our bag. We're all good, friends. Hey, yeah, good. Now you wanted me to put this on here, Donnie, didn't you? Or,
Yeah,
or was
put
it
the
that
nut,
one?
put the nut on the one there so we know that it's on there.
Doesn't.
Actually, a couple different lengths of them.
Yes, there is.
So a person, has to take that in mind, right?
Well, we're gonna take it in mind right on this camera.
That's right. So these two, I believe, are the same length.
Okay.
It's coming back to me. It's been like probably 30 years since I actually
Are those the same?
worked on these
Yes, they are.
as work saws, right?
Yeah, you were on these pretty steady.
When I first started working on chainsaws, I was a young fellow. That's all I did was first McCULLOCH's and
It was those you were working on.
yeah, little mini Macs. I worked for the warranty department at McCULLOCH Canada.
Did you?
Yeah, which was in Nanaimo here at Woodland Supplies.
That's right.
So now this side, I believe, yeah, see how there's that one that's different length, right?
Yeah, that because
Just the thickness of the casing in the block, right?
yeah. So you can almost figure it out if you got a brain in your
Yeah,
head.
it's not hard. You just got to be smart about it.
So those two that'll be longer. Of course it will be because of that casing.
That's
friends.
right.
You
the
see that?
spacing of it.
So that you just got to be aware of that stuff. You don't want to punch a hole through something.
That's right. All right, so we have all the bolts out for the case. We got the 4 inner ones, which I just showed Buckin that they have little like O-rings on it and sealant because you don't want the the oil pot here, the chain oil, to leak into the engine.
So they would leak right inside that crankcase, wouldn't they? Or
right.
in the case, yeah.
Right.
So what he's saying, friends, is there's on these inner bolts, there's little O-rings on those, so oil, because the oil's right there.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to go inside the motor and it'll start smoking like mad, and you don't want that.
And if you didn't have chain oil in there, it would suck air, and then it would lean out and give you problems too. Just like a seal leakage.
Well, it could sooner or later cook your saw.
That's right. Okay, so we got all 4 bolts out.
Yes.
We're going to split this now. So all of a sudden, we're going to see a crankshaft and a piston and the cylinder. So let's give this a little...
This is cool.
Little smack. Oh, it's already... Okay.
So that's it. Look at this, friends.
There we go.
Oh, this is exciting.
There's our piston and cylinder out. If you notice on these old motors, like a McCULLOCH here, you have actually a capped connecting rod.
Do they call that?
With loose bearings.
Yes.
Okay. So on newer type saws, you have a connecting rod that is a full connecting rod with no bolts.
Got it.
You know, once the machine's cooked that bearing, the crankshaft's done. Where these old ones, sometimes if the bearings went, you could actually put a new rod in and new bearings, as long as your crankshaft journal is still good.
And journal being inside
the journal
there.
is your face where the bearings
Got
ride.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Where the bearings ride.
So now I'm gonna just knock this crank off the bottom casing, and it should pull off pretty easy. We'll just give it a little love tap.
Look at that little love tap.
And there's our 2 bearings.
Oh, so the crank just sits right in there like that.
That's right. So this type of like bearings on this saw is kind of unique. Like some of the newer saws, like a 200T still, and
dude, those are skookum.
But the way these bearings work, if you notice, this bearing is what you call a needle bearing.
Yes.
They're long, flat bearings, and there's a lot more surface to them. Okay.
Yes.
So that's their clutch side. So McCULLOCH figured that these bearings stood up better than your old ball bearings.
Which is that there?
That's right. There's your typical ball bearing type bearing. Okay.
Okay. So we had two types of bearings on this
That's right.
crank.
You got your needle bearing and your ball bearing.
Interesting.
And then if you notice, the ball bearing has this ring on it. Okay.
Yes, I do.
So that keeps the crank centered.
Oh, in there.
Motor. And you see this little dowel pin?
Yes, I do.
This dowel pin is where this bearing sits in. Okay.
You have got to be kidding me.
Yeah. So that way it keeps it all centered properly. So your rod and your piston are not
slapping around in there. Do all motors have a system like that, Don?
Similar. Some motors have what they call thrust washers.
Yeah.
Or like in dirt bike engines and some of the newer motors, you have thrust washers on the side of the bottom of the con rod.
Yes.
And you also have thrust washers on the top of the wrist pin.
Yeah.
So that keeps it all centered from woggling and waggling around.
Got it.
And it'll all stay centered properly.
This is cool for me, friends. Like I'm straight up. I need. This is so cool.
Now, where I just told you, like on the needle bearing,
yeah.
If you notice 200T saws,
yes,
the best topping saw in the world.
Yes, it is. You heard it.
The cranks move back and forth. So a lot of shops, they get them in for repair. It's not running right, and they say, "Hey, oh, your crankshaft's moving. It's no good." So they're telling the customers it's no good.
You are kidding me.
It's supposed to be that way. It has to have a little bit of slop.
Yeah.
And with a really good performance 2-stroke engine, you want to have a little bit of crank.
Sure, you do. Tolerance.
Let's say 5-6 thousandths of back and forth movement.
Yes.
So when the thing's revving really high and it's under torque,
yep,
it can actually move and doesn't bind up and get heated up.
Are you listening to this
system,
stuff?
Right?
I mean, this guy's a race guy. He's a race guy. He whatever. I'm not going to blow the man up, but I'm telling you, he's
so
not.
What I found here, Buckin, is it's in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
We got a old thin ring piston.
Yeah. Thin ring I heard was good for some reason.
Yeah, no problem. It's got a little scoring to it.
Yeah.
But my dad told me in some of these old 850s, the chroming was bad.
Yes, it was
on some certain models, but they improved it in a certain year, which I don't know which year this one is.
That's
but
right.
It looks okay. It's got nice transfers. Yep, very nice open port transfers.
Neat how
open side piston type to use the open port piston transfers.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a nice design. McCULLOCH was way ahead of the time for a piston port engine.
They were, weren't they? So Don, now let's talk about this right here. That's just a cleanup show, isn't it? We cleaned that up.
That's right. So this is on the kind of the hot side of the exhaust, okay?
Yeah.
So normally on these motors,
That's not the exhaust side?
if you look
No.
here, there's your exhaust,
Yes.
and the hot part is always on the farthest part of the exhaust part
Yep.
because it doesn't get as much cooling as the other side where the flywheel fan is cooling it. So if you are running it a little bit lean and it's not working right, you'll score that side of it first.
Interesting.
But this thing, I believe we can just clean that up.
Yeah, there's no grooves.
With a little Scotch guard. And what I see on the piston, you notice the thin rings.
Yep.
But they have ring locators, okay?
Yeah.
If you notice right there,
I do.
between that ring where I'm moving
Yeah.
it, there's a little line going vertical, okay? That's where the pin is to stop the ring from moving around.
Okay.
Because if the rings move around, they'll get the gap of it will get caught in the exhaust port, and the ring will catch, and it'll blow up.
Yes.
So on a two-stroke, you always have to have
your rings.
your ring guide.
Yep. In place.
In place properly, and it's always on the intake side.
Intake side.
For you people that are wondering why
Sounds like Iron
pistons
Horse.
have a
Donnie, what did you just say? Speak that again, please.
what I was saying, Buckin, is like when you with your ring locators of the ring,
Yeah.
they're always on the intake side, and the
Yeah.
reason they're on the intake side because the rings never go into the intake,
Got it.
so the rings won't catch in the port.
And then the exhaust side.
The exhaust side, you always have your full rings.
Okay.
If you put the piston on backwards, the ring locators will be in the exhaust port, and the ring will hang up in the exhaust port, and it'll blow up.
So
So
solid ring to the exhaust.
that's right.
Yeah.
On any two-stroke saw motor, or most two-strokes that I've ever worked with,
Yeah.
is the arrow on the piston always goes to the exhaust.
Arrow. Is there an arrow on this one?
Oh, there will be.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we clean the carbon off.
Cool.
But
Arrow to the exhaust.
You gotta remember, this thing's 40 years old, man.
I know it is. That's
So
so
it's got
cool.
a little bit of carbon on it that's been there for a lot of years.
And you know what? Really, if you think
good
about
shape,
it, it's
though.
in pretty good shape.
Yeah. So me and Bucky got some.
That's cool.
We got some new seals for each side of this unit.
Shall I get them?
Not right tonight.
No, because we're
But-
not going to be needing them tonight.
But once after I port this and clean it up.
Port?
Oh yeah, man. We're gonna take this and we're gonna degree it to the degrees that we talked about
Yep.
in our earlier video. My dad was telling me what he used to do on them.
Is your dad going to come up and see you in the morning on this?
Not tomorrow,
On
but
the
we
porting?
will. We will. He's gonna come in and give me a little insight, but I got it pretty much figured out.
Because I think I got an 81 that he tickled around with years ago.
Right on. So what he used to do sometimes is before he really knew a lot about two-stroke port timing,
Yeah.
is he kind of winged it on our go-kart racing motors that he learned from McCulloch and Robert McCulloch, the owner.
Yeah.
My dad he was the best, man.
Yeah.
Still is.
I know.
What he would do,
is.
he would call quick timing. And quick timing was he would just put like a notch in here
Yep.
on the piston.
Yep.
And that would obviously give it more port timing on the intake. But so he only did it on just a certain spot, where if you notice this intake port, it's pretty straight up and down there.
Yes, it is.
But you notice the intake block has this notch, right?
Yep.
So he would notch out this notch accordingly to that size, cut a little groove in that piston. So basically he was changing the intake timing probably by about 20 degrees.
Interesting.
And then me and Buckin measured it last time.
And it was
Close to about 20 degrees we needed to do.
Yeah, it was. So your old
he pretty much had it figured out.
Yeah,
man.
his old man was real close.
And that gave the thing snappy power, eh?
Yeah.
It was like, ning, ning.
Crack.
It was cracking, man. And
Because these were notorious for, I mean, I've got some of these saws and they go, boom. Right, Don? That's what you're talking about.
that's
isn't it?
right. Yeah, instead of whirr, it's like ning, ning, ning. And it's like, a good dirt bike when it's jetted right, eh? You just hit that throttle and it's like ning, ning, instead of like whirr,
Yeah, we
whirr,
call
like,
it the crack.
I got that lovely sound, eh?
Yeah, crack.
Yeah. So you want that crack and crispness, and when you're cutting with it, the followers found that it had that nice snap with the bottom end, that it fed better in the tree, didn't have that lag. It had that power
Yeah.
right away,
And all the way
thing
through.
pulled,
Yes.
with the right chain and right sharpening, of course, right? So yeah, so what we're gonna do that. We're gonna clean this piston up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check our ring gap. which I think will be okay. I see the chrome looks really fine on this old 850.
Does it?
So
and how do you kind of tell that?
I can
Don?
just tell.
You can just tell. I see
I can
you
just
guys.
tell by the smoothness.
Exactly.
Like
no grooves.
the way the chroming works on saws is it's a sprayed chrome.
Yeah.
Nickel sil is the best. Other type of chroming on cheap Chinese cylinders and cheap saws are just a cheap spray of like some sort of chromium. Okay.
Okay.
Not sure the exact word.
Yeah.
So the nickel sil, McCulloch had problems with it.
Yeah.
Hopefully this one was the series when they didn't, which looks like it's fine.
Do you think that was a part of their demise, Don? Losing the chrome when they started losing chrome off their stuff?
No.
You don't.
No.
You think
I
it was
think
Black
it
and
was
Decker?
just, I think it was just the whole point that they sold out and
Yeah.
the industry changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so what we're gonna do? Yeah, we're gonna port this, clean it all up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the way the transfers look on this. It's funny that
Look at them.
the design of it, the way they point towards the intake,
Yes.
is almost like a little racing CR80 engine. Okay.
Are you catching this, friends?
So yeah, so we're gonna clean this piston up, do the port timing,
Yep.
put new seals in it, then we'll re-gasket it and put it back together.
This is crazy.
And obviously we're gonna do our lung of the motor, our carburetor,
Yes.
which I have kits coming, which should be any day hopefully.
Yeah.
On back order. Set our timing. Well, we don't have to this one.
Now, as far
We
as
got electronic ignition on this one.
we do.
Which normally worked good with the first series of electronic ignitions on these saws. My dad was telling me that they had a hell of a problem with them, but
Yeah.
once they got them figured out, they were fine.
I see a little lip here, Don. See that little lip?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that little lip on the exhaust.
Yeah.
That'll be cleaned up.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah.
The reason I did that,
Carbon gathers in there, doesn't it?
it does, and carbon kills. So what it does is hangs around that lip, right?
Yeah.
So once I grind this lip off and I polish it, the carbon won't stick, especially if you're running proper fuel and proper oil.
That's important to hear, friends. What he just said. You said that a couple of weeks ago, Don, in one of our first episodes.
I did, yes, I did, yeah.
And I'll tell you something. That made so much sense to me because I see these little grooves on these pistons and I think, oh, it's scored. It's not. It can be though. Some you can get away with, but that carbon it gathers up around there, and then Donnie, after a saw is ported and polished properly in the exhaust port, carbon no longer sticks in there, Don.
Not as much.
Not as much.
It takes a long time if you're running the right fuel and oil. But what I've noticed lately on a lot of saws I get from work saws is it's on the cold side of the saw.
Yeah.
So here's your hot side where the fan obviously comes over to cool it, okay? So on the cold side of the saw, it'll build up carbon in that corner of the exhaust port.
So on the cold side where it's gone the fan
The
side.
magneto side.
Yeah.
The fan side.
So
it'll build up like an 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, and then it'll start making a groove, right?
And so it's burning off the hot side is what you're saying.
That's right.
Yeah, it's going
Because
away.
it's hot.
Yeah.
But where it's cold, it'll stick.
Stick and sit.
Yeah. So I'll notice like on saws, I'll get this line up and down.
Yes.
Right? And then it'll eventually, lose power and wear the ring out.
Put
too,
a groove in there, yeah.
Then the ring doesn't seal right, so you don't get the compression ratio, and it won't have the performance. So yeah, once we take this lip off and polish it, we won't have that problem.
That's interesting, and I just want to show that because I've never really. Is that a common thing, Don? Like
very common.
Yeah, I mean it's in the casting, isn't it?
I see it all the time on stock saws.
Look at it, friends. You can see it.
Yeah.
There's a big lip in there.
On stock saws, even not this old McCulloch that's 40 years old, but I'm talking like 2-year-old Husqvarnas or Stills.
Yeah.
Their exhaust port, it's just the rough aluminum, right? So anything sticks to it because it's gonna stick. It doesn't
porous.
flow. It doesn't flow past it.
Yeah.
It's porous. So yeah, exactly. So it'll stick normally on that cold side, and I've seen some of them build up like 1/4 inch of carbon, man.
Yeah,
amazing.
I've seen something not quite that bad, but and that's the old saying, carbon kills, eh?
That's right.
So this has been an excellent education for me because I've torn saws, I've torn 1 or 2 down, but really to put them back together, I probably would be lost, especially when it comes to points. Speaking of points,
You'd be calling Donnie Walker.
I'd be calling Don Walker. He's pulled me out of the bite. I can't tell you how many times. And I want to learn how to do this stuff before I'm old and decrepit. So, again, I don't want to toot Don's horn, but we're very happy you're here, Don Walker. And I'll probably say that again. He doesn't like, you know, compliments and all
It's all
that
good,
shit.
man. Okay, Buckin. So hey, we got it torn apart.
We're ready to go to the shop.
We'll take this and do that.
'Kay.
You got the seals now.
Yep, I do. I got the
So
seals and
we're ready
everything.
for that. And yeah, we'll get on that. And if you want, come in when I'm doing it, and
Come up to the shop.
yeah.
Oh, cool.
Show you how I do it.
You guys want to go see the
Come on up.
Porton shop? The dungeon.
Oh yeah.
The Porton dungeon. It's actually the old Walker saw shop. That's going to be a treat,
I was
friends.
sitting there by myself, and like this morning, I was out there at 6 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock this morning. I did 2 390 cylinders. You know, sometimes it's nice to be by yourself sometimes, but it's kind of boring, man.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, it's my routine, right?
Yeah, you get
It's my
into it.
routine.
Do you headphone it or anything?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
have set earmuffs on now. I listen to my tunes.
Yeah.
You know,
I love it.
Need a Buckin CD so I can listen to some of his songs.
Oh, the Woodman.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Woodman
man.
will get you carving metal
The
like
Woodman.
nobody's. Yeah.
Oh, he's a woodman.
So
We're gonna take this now, right?
Yeah, you're gonna take this.
Yep. So let's take your piston stop out.
Okay. Now we got our Mac. We got our magical cylinder here. Your dad said something about these transfers were cool too.
Yeah, they're actually really well designed, man. They're really smart.
So you can just text me, friends. Let's give Don a holler and a hoot in the comment section, please. I'll put your email in there, eh, Don?
You betcha.
So they can shoot you some emails.
Sure.
Johnny Walker's at the shop. He's busy, friends. Donnie will field the emails in the evenings at his home if you got any questions. He's gracious enough to do that. I never asked him. He said he would do that for you guys. So that's pretty cool. So let's give Don a holler. Hey?
Yeah.
Email.
You betcha. You want the email?
Yeah.
Okay. Kartshop, KARTSHOP 10 @gmail.com.
Cart shop.
Kartshop10 @gmail.com.
I love it. Cart.
Like the 10. Right there.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
That's your kid's number.
That's mine.
Is that your
That's
number?
my racing number.
Oh, look at Donnie Walker. He's already
Go
on there.
race it.
That's right. Cartshop10 @gmail.com. And he works full-time, many hours. He will do his best to get back to you because he's Don Walker and he's a man of service. Over and out, Donnie Walker.
Thanks, Buckin.
What's your favorite saying?
Keep it in the wood.
That's the one. Over and out, friends.